Hey, hey, it's meal prep day. I haven't made a video because I do the same thing every time. Got my saran, aluminum foil wrapped, and then my parchment paper, and I got my burgers. These are doing good. I'm gonna put them in the oven right now for 20 minutes. And gotta do this other one, so talk to you while I'm doing this one. Still eating the same. This week, I actually started eating 3 burgers twice a day instead of 4, just to kind of see. I'm maintaining. I'm at 348, 349, or 248, 249, 250. So I'm staying around, still staying at the down 90 pound mark. But anyway, I'm maintaining. My periods still have not come back yet. I'm 48, so I don't know, it's kind of weird. But I still have PMS, so I don't know. I don't really know what the meaning of all that is. Am I going through the change? Am I, I don't know. Am I losing my periods because of my age? Am I, who knows what? So anyway, so that's going on. This week, I'm going to add back the rendered fat that these burgers make. When I was eating the ground up beef and that I cooked in the crock pot, I had added it. And just to be blunt, my bowel movements have changed a little bit since I have not been putting the fat back in. So because of that, I've had some hemorrhoid issue. You know me, I'm going to talk about it. So if you got a weak stomach, don't listen. I'm not constipated per se. I mean, I've been going every day, but and the texture is just a little bit more like oatmeal versus how would I describe my previous texture? My previous texture was a little bit more like yogurt. You're never going to look at it the same. But I'm a nurse, so it's what I talk about. So my previous texture, oh shoot, I forgot to tear off my parchment paper. The previous texture was more like Greek yogurt. And since I've stopped adding the rendered fat, it's more pasty, like yogurt or like oatmeal or paste. So anyway, I think that might be my issue. I've had a horrible issue this week with the hemorrhoid. So I am going to try this week adding that rendered fat back instead of butter. I don't think there's a problem with adding butter, but sometimes I get too much butter and I end up with a stomach ache. So I think if I put the burger fat back in it, it might be a little better. So anyway, so I'm going to try that this week. Like I said, I'm maintaining, so I haven't gained anything, but I'm not losing anything, which is okay. This diet, as they say, is for improving your health, not necessarily for losing weight, because you're not counting calories and all that stuff, and it's a slow process. So anyway, so I'm 3 burgers a day, twice a day, and waiting on my everything to kind of come back. And so I set my timer here. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like I said, no big changes in anything. I don't remember if I told you I've got some stew meat. So there's, and I'm defrosting that. So, sorry about that. The dogs got needy for a minute. Anyway, something I've enjoyed doing in the evenings. Now, not every evening, but some evenings. I come home with the stew meat, or I come home and I've got the stew meat, and I will just do a portion and cook it in the skillet. And I cook it just enough to kind of brown all the sides, and kind of sear it, get it good and seared, and then I eat that for supper. I just something different, you know. So I still do my meal prep, of course, for the week. And anyway, it was just something kind of fun and different. So yeah, so that's why I've got this sitting out, and I'll let it defrost. I'm not going to cook it today. This is just for a couple evenings this week if I want to have it, or if I want to do it 2 evenings or 3 evenings, whatever. So anyway, so yeah, so I'm just leaving it sit out so it can defrost. But that's how it's going. I'm 3 burgers twice a day, and I really have enjoyed this everything bagel seasoning, which really isn't technically carnivore, but you know. And sometimes I even add, hang on. Sometimes I even add some minced onions. Oh, I'm breaking the rules. But anyway, so yeah. And then this is my, I mix it up. It's, what is it? It's adobo seasoning and smoked paprika. So these are the 2 main ones I use. And this is just kind of a cake. Oops, how about I scoot it where you can see it? These are the 2 I use every day. And then this is just kind of occasional. But then when I have this, man, I burp like a wild woman. But yep, so that's what I'm doing. Like I said, still maintaining, no big changes in my weight. Just kind of waiting and seeing how it goes. So what I've been, well, I'll show you the next step whenever when my burgers are done. I'll show you how I kind of process them. Now, put these bad boys on this on this plate. I've been struggling with mentally where I'm going to store this rendered fat so that I can make the next burgers. Because I need it to be somewhere that isn't plastic, because then it's going to melt. So I think what I'm going to do is put it on a plate. Because, you know, whenever I did it the other way, whenever I was smushing up I was patting it out into one big loaf, I would let it soak in there and let it absorb the grease, and it worked well. It worked fine. So maybe I'll just kind of pour it into this. So I don't want to wait till the end. Oh, now. Oh, well, that's more than I thought it was going to be. Let's see if I made a mess on my counter. Yep. Not terrible, but a little bit. So I guess I'm going to have 2 of them. So I'll use this for the next one. I'm going to have 4 of them. Well, I could put, yeah, I'll try 2 and see how that goes. Anyway, because like I said, I want to use the rendered fat. And what I've been doing is then letting my burgers sit while the next batch cooks, and it lets them cool down a little bit and rest. Not as if it matters, but before I put them in the little plastic containers, because I don't do glass, you know, like they say you're supposed to. I just don't do it. I don't do it. I think we all need a little of that BPA in our lives, or whatever it is that is supposedly killing us. I don't know. But anyway. So yeah. So I'll let these sit and cool. Let's see if I can do this. Maybe not make a mess this time. I don't think it's possible. Ow, it's splattered out on me, that's for sure. Okay. Now. Set that there and get 2 more of my burgers. They're smoking over there. Looking good. Looking good. Looking good. Something fell in my counter or down below my cabinet. Now, scissors. Scissors. Here we go. So anyway, I'll let you know next week or the next how the whole thing goes with adding the rendered fat back in to my meals for my bowels and roid issue. I know one thing, when I add extra butter, there's like a fine line, but I haven't figured out what that fine line is. So that's why I've decided I'm just going to add back this and see how that works. But when I add extra butter, it sure gets things going. And there's no issues with that, by George. When I add, I don't know. I haven't figured it out if it's 2 tablespoons, 4 tablespoons. I just haven't figured it out. So, maybe this way I won't have to. So I did 20 minutes the first go around, about 12 minutes the second to go around. Dadgummit, there they are. Not having that rendered fat in here makes it easier to line my burgers up, because when I had I'd have to do it carefully, otherwise I would sometimes splash it out on me. My mom talks about how my grandma, my dad's mom, used to wear an apron when she would cook and do dishes. And my mom talks about how her belly was always wet from doing the dishes, or, you know, leaning up against stuff, because she had a belly. Not as big as mine, but she had a belly. So when you have a belly, you tend to lean forward on stuff and tend to get whatever you're cooking like on your belly as you lean forward. Alright. Get this one in. Watch out, puppy dog. And I'll set the timer for 20 minutes. And I'll show you at the very end. I'll show you what I'm going to do with those. Alright, get my assembly line going. And what I was doing before, last week, well, I was doing a pancake turner. And this week I grabbed tongs. And I've been just breaking the burger in half and then in half again, so it's kind of bite-sized pieces. I just like it better than, wait a minute, how many was that? Was that 2? I think that's 2. Yeah, that's 2. And then I don't want to have to pause you and go back to my video to watch and see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. Yep. I had to do that earlier to see what if I told you about the, because I'd started recording and I talked about the stew meat, but I didn't know if I had already, if that was in the first recording or the second recording. Anyway. So like I said, I'm going to put the 3 burgers in here. And then I'm going to divide the rendered fat. I'll divide that up based on, and I'll pour it over it. Let me accidentally drop something here. There we go. Got a cutie patootie over here beside me thinking that she's being mistreated because there's the smell above her and she's not getting anything. So I tossed just a little piece and it's like they all heard the splat from wherever they come from because 2 more came in the room. Tell you, they got supersonic ears, these dogs do. But I got news for them. They're not all getting something. Come on. I think sometimes they hear me talking and think something exciting's happening. So where this is easier is when I do this. Boop, 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 boop. Uh-oh, missed one. Okay, so now I want to divide this up between these 4 bowls. So get me a little spoon here. One. 2/3. 2/3. 2/3. There we go. So, I guess that's how I'll do that. Four lids. 4 lids. I did not season these. So I'll have to season them when I get them at work. But it's about that much liquid in the bottom. Try to see if you can see it at all. I'll remove my hand. It's kind of hard to tell. Anyway, so we'll see how that works this week. We'll do these others next. Watch out, puppy dog. 1, 2, 3. I actually still have 3.5 days worth left. Uh-oh, I'm missing. One of you, oh, here it is. 3.5 days left for of meals already made. So this is what I was saying I was doing before. Instead of the tongs, this makes it a little easier. Cut each patty up into 4s and plop it in. Which patty did that come from? I think that one. Yeah. One, two, three. Surprisingly, I still don't get tired of eating this same thing every day. I think that's what blows people's minds. I think that, you know, when you eat this way, you start craving this, and it's what you crave, and you don't want anything else. And that's just kind of how it's been for me. I do still change up seasonings sometimes, like in the evening time. If I'm home, like today, I added some, like, what did I add? Some cream cheese and some Greek seasoning, and so that's how I change up the taste of it, you know, like, or add Southwestern seasoning and sour cream. And anyway, so that's still how I change that up when I want to do that. But overall, I still crave the same base of the beef. I know there's, like I said, people that like to change it up and do stuff to it. Okay, some people want chicken and pork, and they like variety, and that's cool. I mean, that's true, because there was one day I went and I stopped at a Greek place and bought some gyro meat. Man, that was expensive. I just asked for a pound of gyro meat, and that was $15. Definitely twice as much as the pork, like pulled pork, because pulled pork I can get for like $9 for a pound. So huge difference. But I mean, I know it's different because it's a lamb, so, and it's whatever. So it's definitely not something I have done since that one time. It was good, but I've not done it again. All right, now I've made room for the burgers, the next set of burgers. So I will show you those in a minute. I'm gonna put the lids on these and pop them in the freezer. I wanted to show you this way. You can see that's about how much, it's not a whole lot, but that's about how much of that rendered fat I've added back. So when I heat it up, it'll give it some good flavor. Alright, I already did one. And then I did it in here instead of putting it on the plate. I'm going to save me more dishes by doing it this way. Wish I would have thought of this beforehand all these past several weeks. But, you know, thinking has never been my... never been accused of being a deep thinker. Problem solver. Whoops, I missed one. No, I didn't. The 3 burgers fit in these little ones really well. I ran out of the big ones. And I even poured the grease from here. I was kind of worried that it would melt the thingies, but it didn't. So, like I said, that'll save me even more dishwashing. And these, oh man, so I started a couple weeks ago, I started using the aluminum foil and the parchment paper, because it's like one of the two is not really good enough to keep it from going through, but both of them together has really seemed to do the trick. So turn this light on, I'll show you what I did here. Ow. I just kind of went some for you, some for you, some for you, some for you, and a little bit more for you. There we go. And then, by doing this, I don't burn myself. Voila! Perfectly clean, dry, and I can stack them and let them both cool down. So, there you go. That's what I've got for work this week. I've got 16 meals, so that's 8 days worth. So eventually they catch up to each other and I'll have a week where I won't have to cook. Because like I said, I'm also going to sometimes have that stew meat. So there we go. That's how I'm doing it this week. And I'll try to let you know how that worked out. Try to let you know in a week or so, and just kind of give my body a chance to see what it does and doesn't like. So like I said, I'm gonna let this finish defrosting. I'm gonna load my dishwasher with my plates and bowls and all that good stuff. So thanks for watching. Have a good day.